Thank you so much for making me aware of that. I so appreciate that. Please let me know if you can still hear me. Has the audio changed? So before we get going, I totally forgot to set that audio setting. So please let me know if the audio is okay. I hope it is. Let me do one more check before I carry on, because I have done that far too many times where I have carried on and not realizing that there's not any audio. Okay, I'm going to trust. I've checked all 3 settings. So hopefully okay, fantastic, yay. All right. Wonderful, right. So we are, yeah, okay, cool. Sorry for that technical glitch. Audio changed, background is less now. I can hear you better, no background noise now. Okay, background is less, sounds clearer. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Let me know if I must adjust the audio, the volume at all. I'm so grateful for pointing out that the audio was not working. There's so many moving parts to these live streams. All right. Oh, it sounds like I'm talking through a pillow. That's interesting. Let me see if I can adjust that at all. Maybe my microphone is too far down. How's that? Is that better? Oh, it's good now. Okay. Okay. All right, so it sounds it sounds good. Okay, fantastic. All right, we are good to go. Back to scheduled programming. So spirituality, that is the card, and I will reread it because I feel like it was missed. I acknowledge that we all take different roads to seeking fulfillment and happiness. I connect to my spirit in ways that feel authentic to me. I love that as a reminder that all our paths are different, that we learn from each other, but not everything is going to resonate or be appropriate. And it is for us to discern what is true for ourselves. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And so that's an open invitation for this session. Right, so I'm so glad that audio issue is sorted. Okay, so hopefully you have your drawing implements, whether that is digital or it is analog, with paper or journal, pen and pencils. What cards do I have? They are called, and they were given to me by a dear friend in South Africa. They're called the Wellbeing Wisdom Cards by Shamila Wilson. So Shamila, that's the deck. These are actually her own cards that she designed, and she's an incredibly inspiring woman. Yeah, so I love these cards because they're very practical as well. So there we go. All right, so today we are doing a little creative doodle practice, and it's not an alphabet week. This is a doodle prompt called Blooming Imperfection. And I absolutely love that idea, the concept, and what it brings to mind, blooming imperfection. So before we start, I'd like to invite you to answer the question today, or to complete the sentence, today I doodle too. I'm going to write it in the comments. Today I doodle too. So what is your intention for doodling today? Why have you shown up? What does it mean to you? Today I doodle too. What do you hope to get from this session? And you can share in the comments if you want to, or just write in your journal. It's completely up to you. It's your practice. There's no obligation in any way. It's just to reflect and understand where you're meeting yourself in this moment. Today, I doodle too. So Rhonda shares, to ground and feel joy. Yes, love that. Today, I doodle too. Evelina says, to find some creativity. Yes. You're in the right place. Delee says, to be in the moment, to create something with community. Love that. Yes. And Sandy says the same. Yeah, love that. And so it gives us a great starting point to understand, why are we doing this? Why do we do anything? Like, again, coming back to that conscious consumption. Why? Why do we choose to consume what we do? Why do we do the things we do? So just being honest with yourself. Florgie says to let go of the morning anxiousness. Yeah, let go of anxiety. I hear you. It is a very soothing practice. So once you have written that down, the mindful prompt for today's practice, just an understanding, and it's all centered around wild flowers. So we're going to be drawing wild flowers. A wild flower never questions its shape. Let your marks today be as imperfect and beautiful as the flowers in a field. So that gives you a clue of what we are going to be drawing today. So we're going to be drawing the outline of large flowers with any number of petals, and inside each petal we're going to draw freely loops, spirals and dots. Any combination. So normally in our alphabet themed sessions, the doodle patterns are almost prescriptive, giving you a break from having to make a decision on what to doodle, so there's a benefit to that. And this is the opposite of that, where you're invited to tap into your creative intuition. How do you feel like filling the petals of a flower? I will be showing you how I choose to do mine, but the invitation is for you to create it however you feel called to create it. You can look at mine as a source of inspiration. Take what inspires you and leave the rest. If you feel like going off on a tangent, follow that intuitive nudge. Okay, oh, I just dropped my card. Okay. Tammy, you are doodling too. Life's responsibility leaves little time for artistic creativity. Yes, this time fulfills that need. Oh my gosh, you gave me goosebumps, Tammy. That is the truth of that statement. Really hit me where it matters. Yes, this time fulfills the need for artistic creativity. Yep, absolutely. And without judgment, being mindful about how we experience the drawing. Hey Jessica, good to see you. Welcome. Tracy, painting by numbers relaxes my mind after having a long day after work. Yeah, absolutely. How beautiful is that? Yeah, illustration has become a soothing tool. All right, so let me change my camera and then we can start. Oh, I see I'm a little bit off center. I didn't check that. Let me just get my camera set up and bring you a bit closer. You're a bit far. There you go. How's that? Is that too close? Hopefully that's okay. All right, so we are going to be drawing. Okay, good. That's cool. We're going to be drawing some wild flowers, and so we have really your imagination is the only limitation today with this drawing in terms of the shapes of our flowers. And So I'm going to invite you to start at the bottom of your page. Let me just get my screen all set up. Invite you to start at the bottom of your page. So whatever size page you have, we are going to start drawing stems reaching up from the bottom of our page. Get my glove on. Choosing your pen. And so taking a nice deep breath in, letting go, and then inhaling as you make your next stem. And you can do however you choose. But imagine a wild field of flowers. Maybe they cross over each other. Hey Jana, good to see you. Is it Jana or Jana? Jana is the South African pronunciation, but I'm mindful that I might be getting that wrong. So glad that you are here. So taking a nice deep breath and draw a stem. And on your next inhale, and as you're breathing in, notice if your body starts to relax, let go of any tension, releasing breath by breath. And just let the marks on the page be what they are. Jana. Okay, Jana. Good. Thank you, Jana. Got it. So we're starting with the stems of the wildflowers at the bottom of your page. Notice if you're holding any particular tension in your shoulders. Drawing your attention to those parts. Breathing deeply. And bring a sense of curiosity. Are you noticing any changes in the sensations you currently experience compared to when you first logged on to this live stream? Has anything shifted yet, just because you're bringing your attention to your breath? Keep adding stems as you feel called to. Jessica, your breathing got deeper. Mine too. Good morning, Tracy. Oh, you're sat on the bus. Awesome. So you'll be listening in and watching. Most welcome. Feel free to follow along with the breathing and the mindfulness aspect of the drawing session. Less shallow breathing, Jessica, yes. Barbara, more focused, yes. I noticed I instantly, as I began to relax my body, started to feel tired, like almost drowsy. And it's interesting because ahead of a live, like the setup and everything is high energy, and the getting started and all of that. And then as soon as focus turns to the drawing, the breathing, the conscious awareness, feel that body letting go of what it was holding on to, letting go. And now we're going to start to draw the flowers, the heads of the flowers, and also leaves. and other little details. So I will be giving you options that you can draw inspiration from, but the invitation exists for you to follow your creative intuition. Do what feeds you this morning, today, this moment. You contemplated why you're doodling. So call to mind what shapes, what details, what doodles would best serve you this morning, this moment, this afternoon. What do you feel like allowing your hand to create on the page? When you think of a field of wild flowers, what comes to mind? Imagining how those flowers might be swaying in the wind. And what shapes and patterns feel right for you right now? And flowing with that. What spaces on the page are calling to you? Allowing it to be easy, allowing it to be joyful, allowing it to be experimental, and most importantly, allowing it to be imperfect. Nature doesn't do cookie cutter. Nature does wild and free. Nature does asymmetrical. Nature also does symmetrical. Dots, spirals, waves, loops, there are no rules, there is no expectation. We're simply creating. We're trying things out. We're accepting that sometimes we will like the outcome. Sometimes our preference is different to the outcome. Appreciating the simplicity. There's nothing complicated about this doodle. It is simple, but no less profound. There's nothing riding on this particular drawing. There's no judgment. And it's almost a sense of remembering what it was like to create and to draw before you started getting measured, standardized, tested for your ability. You just did it because you wanted to, because you enjoyed it. Yes, Tracy, there are two Tracys. Trisha, hi and welcome. First time here. This is an iPad. I'm drawing on an iPad and using the Procreate app to draw on. But you can draw on paper with pen and pencils. Doesn't need to be digital. So continuing to experiment and to play. How many different shapes of flowers come to mind? And how can you decorate them? Be inspired by what you remember from nature, what you've seen. Endless possibilities. From simple to complex. Not every flower is symmetrical. Different shapes, variations. Like the card mentioned, we choose what is right for us, not necessarily what everybody else is doing. And the invitation is to experiment with different shapes. Test the edge of your comfort zone. Creativity is a muscle. And far too often, our creativity has some external measurement attached to it. Right now, there is no measurement. It's just playful. Be curious. See what happens. Sandy, I just created a flower made of hearts that turned out pretty darn cute. Awesome. I love that. Yeah, play. See what happens. And let it be imperfect. Paying attention to the sensation of each line that you draw, each dot and each circle, all the shapes. What additional marks can you make? What spaces feel like they can receive some interest? Noticing that every shape you make, every little detail is simple in itself, but your garden is growing. Taking your time, slowly adding a little bit here and a little bit there. One mark at a time. Yes. Sandy, that was a different version of mine. There's no limit to what you can create with this. Absolutely. Let your imagination run wild, like the wild flowers you're creating. Be okay with it not turning out. The way your ego wants it to. Taking a nice deep breath in and out. Notice if you're holding any tension anywhere. Terry, can we draw it on a paper? I don't have an Apple Pen. Absolutely, 100%. Most people do draw on paper and journal. That's what the majority do. It's up to you. Taking your time. Creating space for creativity. And just making a mark, even if you're not sure what you're doing or how it's going to turn out. Cece, why am I not? It's a preference. Yeah, my preference for drawing digitally is because I also have a preference for minimalism. And I like all of my things contained, neat and tidy, and also practical because I can draw anywhere without having to carry lots of things. Oh, that's the reason I didn't even try up to now. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, bring your paper, bring your pen. And that's the invitation, is just because you see somebody else doing something, you can learn from them, but ultimately make it your own. Do what feels right for you. Cece, thinking about going digital too. Give it a try, experiment. I only started drawing digitally a couple years ago. So it's relatively new for me too. But you can also swing both ways. Notice how if you make one new line, one new style of a line, how that might inspire you, as that just did, to go and add that line somewhere else. Turns out I quite like that. What a happy accident. Tara, is this a kind of meditation drawing? Yes, it is mindful. It is a kind of creative mindfulness. It is creating for the joy of creating, and also noticing how it's a full body experience. You bring your whole body to the drawing session. Yes, your hand and your fingers and your arm and shoulder are the predominantly active parts of your body, but your whole body's here, your whole mind is here. And we're drawing, pardon the pun, we're drawing focus to the experience of creating marks. Knowing that there is no grade, no judgment, nobody's going to see it. We're doing it for the pure enjoyment of it. I'm really liking these lines. And how lovely that a line can give you joy. How simple. So lovely. Let's see, sorry, I missed a lot of chat. Jessica says, I need to get back to digital, I think. I need my own iPad. Everyone is always using mine. See the joy. Yes, absolutely. And Trisha, you can use color pencils also, absolutely. I draw all my line work in one color, and depending on how I feel, I might go and color in after the fact. There's a reason those adult coloring in books exist, and we're essentially creating our own coloring in page. And your colors selection can help inform how you're feeling in this moment or what you need in this moment as you are drawing. So there's an additional component when you bring color into the creative practice, for sure. I always tend to draw these line doodles in green or brown because for me they represent colors of nature, and I find black too harsh for my preference. So much is about being inspired by others, but ultimately deciding what resonates with you. What do you feel called to create with? I'm loving those lines. My gosh. Okay. Tracy, good. You're feeling relaxed and sleepy. Yes, 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 yes. Jessica, in another live, I found out something really cool. Some water-based markers will act like a watercolor when you add water and a brush. Awesome. Try it on a scrap paper first, but it's so pretty when it works. I just use Crayola markers and it comes out pretty. Yeah, there is a whole additional level of the tactile experience. It's when you're doing it analog, when you're not doing digital like I am, because you've got the feel of the crayon and the water and the smell. Oftentimes those art tools have smells to them as well, and all of that adds to the mindfulness aspect of this practice. So there is definitely you know, that's a pro on the analog side of things. Let's see. Terry, just draw like the way do. Just copy yours. You can copy mine, for sure. Or even more fun would be to create your own and to delve into your own creative energy. But definitely you can be inspired. And we all start somewhere, so if you're new to it, for sure. I mean, that's what I used to do, is just find other creatives doing the kinds of drawings that I wanted to draw and be inspired by them, and then practice, for sure. Let me see. Sorry, I'm so far behind. Barbara says, Abigail, do you record these sessions so I can watch and participate later in the day? Yes, I do. So if the tech has worked this morning, and it's always a touch and go whether it does, the recording, the replay of this should be on the other platforms that I frequent, and you can find those links in my Insight Timer profile. Let me put my profile there so that you can follow, so that you can come back after the live and go and click and investigate the links to go and see the recordings. Okay, let's see here. I'm sorry, I'm so far behind in the chat. Terry says, copy her or the way I want. You can do it either way. Either copy me or do your own. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Jessica. Yes, giving advice there. Use mine as a reference and to spark ideas, but do what feels right to you. Absolutely. Do whatever you want. Yeah, using brown and green. Sandy, I don't remember, have you ever combined neurographic with Zentangle in these lives? I haven't, and you're the second person, I believe, who has inquired about neurographic art. So I think definitely I will start to do some neurographic art. That's an interesting practice as well. Also ties in with mindfulness. So yeah, I haven't done it yet, but it's another lovely creative practice. And Zentangle, we do the Zentangle, our alphabet themed lives are kind of a Zentangle inspired session. That's where we've got the more definitive doodles that we do. And notice how, whether there's certain shapes that you resonate more with, just out of interest. Let me see. Yeah, Tracy, multisensory, yeah, with the doing analog doodling. Oh, Tracy, you like my flowers? Thank you. I quite like them as well. I yeah, didn't have a specific plan. Feeling into what is coming up. I think I'll do one of these. And oftentimes, I'll just start moving the pen without really knowing where I'm going with it. Letting it be a surprise. Terry, what is the difference between Zentangle and Doodle? So Zentangle is like a trademarked name and a style of doodling. Doodle is more freeform, more like less prescriptive. Zentangle has a very specific modality, I would say, and people like train to become Zentangle teachers to be able to use the trademarked name. Doodle is more making it up as you go along. And then I combine it with calling it Zen doodle, meaning that there's this mindfulness act to it, that it is, the priority is not necessarily the outcome, but more about the experience of creating. Jessica answered as well, Terry, they are similar, but Zentangle is a business who trains teachers on formal design. Yeah. Jessica says, Sandy, have you attended any other lives on here with neurographic? There are some teachers that do it. Oh, cool. So Trisha's asking what neurographic art is. Also, like the same concept as Zentangle in that it is a methodology of drawing. It's very abstract art, and the intention, and it kind of lines up, my understanding of it is, and you can also train in, there's a company called Neurographica. You can get certifications in it, but it essentially emulates, my understanding of it is that it emulates the neurons in your brain, and the artwork that you create is an abstract of that, and the process is very much around softening edges. So if you have an intersection here of two lines, you will smooth them out, and so in the smoothing out of those corners, so your nervous system regulates, because psychologically, apparently that is a more pleasing aesthetic. And so as you are doing the drawing, so you're also processing the things that are essentially sharp in your mind, you're smoothing them out. That's my understanding of it. I'm not trained in it. I haven't delved too much. And am open to anybody else sharing what they know about it, sharing their wisdom. This is a place that we do share. Okay, Jessica's saying, go to Grace Luz teacher page and check out her track, What is Neurographic Art? There we go. So there's a whole track about explaining it. Awesome. And then Sandy says, there is one teacher that touched on it, just do a search as the name doesn't come up in my brain. Got me interested, so now I'm combining it, as it's not hard at all. Yeah, it's really not hard. Very much a reflective process. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, Jessica, you teach it. Yes, at the library. Okay, cool. Confirming that my understanding is correct. Cool. Nice. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So we learn. And a theme that came up earlier this week was we teach what we need to learn. So I very much enjoy the mindful experience, noticing how creating lines on a page, as simple as that sounds, how it has such a profoundly positive effect. Noticing heart rate lowering, breathing slowing, mind focusing, stopping the mental treadmill, just giving your whole body a break from the day-to-dayness, the obligations, the things to worry about, and just be here right now. Just this line, this page, this pen. breathing in with intention. Sumit, what app am I using? I'm using Procreate on the iPad. Trisha, I was looking at contact wallpaper the other day and I see a lot of flower patterns like this style and they are beautiful on the walls. Can really change the dynamic of a room. Simple and stimulating, yes. They are simple, and that's the beauty of it. Like when you look at a picture as a whole, and that is what I do enjoy about doodling as a whole, and whether it's Zentangle or Zendoodle or Neurographica or this kind of doodling, when you look at the final image, it can look complex and daunting. And I personally experienced that before I got into, oh, sorry, my microphone, before I got into drawing. And the more I've practiced, the more I realize it's actually really simple. It's just continually putting pen to paper, making a new mark and a new mark and a new mark, and how that is translated into everyday life. If you, like me, get anxious about projects or tasks that need to be done that can seem overwhelming at the start, what we learn from these doodle sessions is that just focus on this line, focus on this part, one line at a time, and just keep going. Keep adding another line, and eventually you recognize that it is simple. When you break it down into its component parts. Sandy, you can use Grok app and make the flowers come alive. Yes, I believe Procreate Dreams also has an that is Procreate's animation tool. Yeah, have them blowing in the wind, that would be lovely. Jessica says, my kiddo has been really into animation lately and I'd love to check it out. Cool. Oh, cool. So Sandy, yeah, it's a free app that makes pictures come alive. Very cool. Dali, you quite like this. At first it was a little difficult just to let go, and like you said, just to put a line or a dash or a circle, a square, a triangle, but it's all coming together and it's really cool. Absolutely, that's it. Now, how often do we stop ourselves from doing something because from the get-go it seems a bit complicated? And if we just get started, clarity comes from action. Clarity comes from action. All too often we stop ourselves from giving something a go because we've decided up front it won't work. But yeah, clarity comes from action. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Dilly, I'm calling these my Dr. Seuss flowers because they're not based in reality. I love that. That's so cool. I would love to see your Dr. Seuss flowers. Yeah. Can you do this on canvas board? Do you mean like a painting canvas, like a physical canvas, or another digital app? Because there is an app called Canvas. I would imagine you can do it anyway. I couldn't see why you can't. I would love to see your Dr. Seuss. Oh, now you're inspiring me. Delay, I'm gonna use that as a prompt. Some downward facing flowers. I like that. And just filling in whatever spaces you can find on your page. Letting any attachment to outcome go. And just enjoy the experience of experimentation. You might surprise yourself. And what a gift that is. Embracing what doesn't work out as expected. I think I could draw flowers all day long. Just try. There is no right or no wrong way. Absolutely, Dilly. Tracy, my bad. Can you do this on canvas artboard? Yes, I would imagine that you could. I couldn't see why not. Yep, Jessica says you do whatever you want. The beauty of art is doing what feels right to you, 100%. And what's amazing about that is that you can take that ethos into the rest of your day, into the rest of your activities. Do what feels right for you. Allow yourself to experiment. Learn from practicing creativity. And you know what? Oftentimes, our mistakes are our biggest teachers. We learn most from the things we fail at rather than the things we win at. Notice if you're feeling called to Go even more wild with your wild flowers. Go off script. Try something new. Notice what it feels like to try something new. Get used to that feeling something new. There's so much to be gained from approaching things with that novice mindset. When we think that we know everything, we get in our own way. Jessica says, I just messaged a friend I'm trying to get to doodle, and she said I'm too busy, haven't had time. And I challenged her to do 5 minutes a day, and she said, oh, that's doable. Absolutely. 5 minutes a day, absolutely. And there is benefit to doing that. There is benefit to doing that, and you can give yourself like mini projects to work on, to build slowly over time, build it into a daily practice. See if there are containers for you to add additional texture. Maybe something completely new. Barbara says, thank you all. Yay, thank you for being here, Barbara. It's time to make breakfast. Fantastic, enjoy your breakfast and have a wonderful weekend. Yes, Dali, the great thing about this is there's not very big consequences. Absolutely, so this is your opportunity to mess up. You have a permission slip to mess up, to experience creativity and experimentation with nothing riding on it, and to enjoy what that feels like. Your nervous system will thank you for that. Tracy, I use chalk with primary school children on walls. Oh, awesome. That's so cool. Oh, Jessica, you say your friend took my class a couple of weeks ago and she said she felt so good after, so I'm trying to get her back to that. Yes, absolutely. And oftentimes, how often do we, I was thinking about this yesterday, how often do we not do the things we know are good for us and that we do enjoy, like doodling or meditating or exercise or whatever it is. It's good for us and we enjoy it when we do it, and yet we struggle to do it. And then the things that are bad for us, like doom scrolling or whatever, that doesn't make us feel good, and yet we do that all the time, you know, backwards wiring, backwards conditioning. And so it is a practice. It is something to keep on keeping on with. In yoga, keep getting on the mat. And every day is an opportunity to reset. Just because perhaps there's been several days or missed opportunities, doesn't mean you can't start again. Every day is a new day to start again. Experiment and play. See if there's more gaps that you can fill. Maybe more details. Maybe there are things floating in the wind. What are those dandelions? Draw some dandelions. There's always dandelions in a wild field. Maybe they're not all coming from the ground. Some are moving on. What else do you see in a wild flower garden? Take a nice deep breath in. And while you're drawing, while you're making the marks, just do a little mental body scan from the soles of your feet, whether you're standing or sitting, your toes, the tops of your feet, your ankles, your shins, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your pelvis, your lower back, your lower abdomen, your middle back, your chest, your upper back, your shoulders, your upper arms, your forearms. What's your other hand doing? How does it feel? Keep drawing while your body's scanning. Scan your neck, your throat, the back of your head, your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, your mouth, your jaw, and finally take a nice deep breath in and notice the cool air going in your nose. And breathe it out your mouth with a sigh. And starting to add the final few touches. You can continue with this drawing at any time, continuing to add more details, or perhaps you might want to color it in. All is welcome. So, yes, thank you, Jessica, for answering. Procreate on an iPad. So, as we start to wrap up, I'd like to invite you to answer these questions, to reflect. Bring it up on the screen because I can't see it. What did it feel like to explore these shapes? To explore, experimenting with all manner, not knowing what you were going to create, what we were going to do. What did it feel like to make it up as you went along? And to create the different shapes, the textures. How did that feel for you? You can reflect on that in your journal and write it out for yourself, or if you want to share, please do. But just notice how you experienced this free-form flower, wildflower, embracing the imperfection. And what beauty can you find in the imperfection? Oh, thank you, Jessica, writing down those questions. What did it feel like to explore these shapes? And what beauty can you find in imperfection? Extending your reflection from your drawing, whether there are imperfections in your drawing or imperfections in general. What beauty can you find? So Jessica says, I think it felt freeing. Old me might not have agreed. How interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Freedom, love that. What a gift to feel freedom, huh? Like you can know it intellectually, but to actually feel that, how wonderful. Evelina, challenging at first, yes. Then created different flower shapes very easily. Look at that, how wonderful. Yes, just get started. Embracing the challenge, noticing the discomfort, the initial discomfort, but realizing that as you get going with it, so it's like loosening the tap or the faucet on creativity. It might be stuck at first, it might be tight at first, but as you get it going, so it flows. Yes. Delee, lack of judgment and just have fun. Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful, love that. Jessica, beautiful, oh, beautiful quote by Emily Dickinson. To be a flower is profound responsibility. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. We should not mind so small a flower. Oh, Joy, I love that. First start, then make it better. Yes, make it exist, then make it better. Absolutely. Oh, I mean, just is a wonderful, wonderful reminder. So I'd love to invite you to take a breath in and exhale, relaxing your shoulders, placing your pen down, recognizing you have created something today, something from simple lines, just starting with a few simple lines at the bottom, and look what you have created. You have bloomed an entire garden. You did that today. Well done. Well done. You have bloomed this garden today. And who knows what you have bloomed for yourself today because of this practice. How wonderful. So check in with yourself. How are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being awful, 10 being awesome. Can you notice a shift? Is there a shift? And notice without judgment. Allow it to be what it is. It is what it is. The weather outside is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. So just check. Just notice. It's part of the experimentation. It's a part of the practice. Just to notice where you're at. Does this kind of art feed you? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Completely up to you. Everyone is unique. Yes. Yana, freeing to create and embrace the unknown and unfolding the beauty. My gosh. Freeing to create and embrace the unknown and unfolding the beauty. I love that. And yes, the unknown of it, like we didn't know what we were creating. I didn't know that this was what this was going to turn out like today. How beautiful. How beautiful. Unfolding the beauty. I love that. Dali, thank you for the inspiration and the space to come together, flow and heal. Oh, you're so welcome, and thank you for being part of that experience. What a gift we give to each other in this practice. Rhonda went from a 5 to the 7. Oh, fantastic. This was really nice. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you noticed a shift. That's, that's what self-care does. That's what self-care does. And it's not always easy. It can be simple, but as simple as making a line on a page. It's not necessarily easy. So well done, you. Yeah. Jessica, you're so welcome. I love this and love in black and white, but would love to see with a watercolor brush on Procreate if you feel called to. I'd love you to make a copy and try it and share. Absolutely. In fact, maybe drawings like this make these templates available to download. If you don't want to do the line art, but you want to do the coloring in, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I can certainly do that. But yes, I will feel into that maybe over the weekend. Jessica, you went from a 5 to an 8. Yay. Similarly. Awesome. Florgy, 8. Yay. It made my mind joyful, like a flower's field, seeing the colors and shapes. I was walking there. Oh, I love that imagery. You just gave me goosebumps. Yes, that if we can't get out in nature, we can draw nature. Sometimes it's just not possible to get out in nature, and we know going out in nature is good for us. And so if you can't be there physically, go there mentally, go there creatively, draw your wildflowers. Love that. Dali, you're an 8. Wonderful, amazing. Jenny, I'm a 6.5 or 7. It felt calming. I always find that drawing flowers or leaves feels particularly good. Yes, me too, absolutely. And this is part of the experimentation of finding what shapes resonate with you, what objects resonate with you. And not everybody is going to resonate with the same shapes. So yay, well done. Tracy, asking about plans for the weekend. What is everybody else's plans? Before I get into that, I am just going to share that we have our next drawing session next Friday. Here you go, you can register to attend that one. We are going back to the alphabet series next week, the letter S. I feel like that is going to be a really rich session full of S words, lots of prompts to draw our focus to things that we are grateful for. Oh, Mende, good to see you here. So lovely catching the end of this with you all. What a beautiful session. Yes, love the flowers. You're so welcome. And thank you for the body scan. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Let me know if you enjoy those kinds of prompts, those kind of mindfulness practices while we are drawing. Perhaps it's too much. I'm happy to receive your input on that. Yana, you're so welcome for this wonderful wildflower meadow inspiration and nourishing space. You are so welcome. I love that. Wildflower meadow. I love that visual. I bet it will be soothing and satisfying. Yes, I think so too, Jessica. Get those S words in. Fantastic. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you're able to join us for next week's session. Whatever you do this weekend, I'm trying to think what plans we have for the weekend. I don't think we have any plans. Creativity is always a central theme, regardless of whether it's a weekend or a weekday for me. Daily drawing practice. I currently have a project that I'm busy working on, which is a daily drawing. And so if you find that this kind of active meditation or active mindfulness practice has soothed you, I invite you to find a way to make it part of your daily practice. And like Jessica said, you can do one flower in 5 minutes, and that is a good start. That is a good practice. One flower might become 2 flowers, or whatever your subject matter might be. But the act of sitting down, taking a nice deep breath before you start, check in with yourself. Where are you in this moment? What is your physical sensations? What's your mental and emotional state? And just let the pen start moving on the page. Don't judge. Practice letting go of that judgment, and just, even if it's just squiggles, a page of squiggles, that's also okay if that represents what you're feeling in that moment. Do that. That is you expressing what you are feeling. Understanding why you are doodling is a useful starting point. Like why are you processing something, or are you wanting to tap into your creative energy? Maybe you've got some creative projects you need a little extra creativity, and as you've seen, as you start with one line, so it expands into a flood or a flow of creativity. So if you need creativity in your work life or something, do a little 5-minute doodle to open that tap of creativity. And just experiment with making this part of your self-care practice. Yes, Jessica says you don't have to finish your art in one day. You can do a little bit and keep coming back to it. Absolutely, absolutely. So again, it's letting go of expectation, measurements, that within this specific time block, X must be completed. No, let it go. Get used to coming back to it, making it a habit rather than an end point that you're working towards. Yes, if over time you will get to an end point, potentially if it is contained within the definition of a project that you're working on, but it's the daily habit that will get you there. All right, here endeth the lesson. I hope you found value here. I hope that you'll join us for next week's Friday's session. If you do want a little bit of guidance in your doodle practice, I do have some tracks on my Insight Timer teacher profile. They are 10 minutes or less, little short snippets of practices like this. Very much nature themed. If that's your vibe, that's my vibe. So if you're looking for like a little nudge just to get started, go check out some mindful art tracks on my teacher profile. I am generating more of them. They're scheduled to publish, staggered, so that they don't all come out at the same time. So make sure that you're subscribed so that you get the little notification when the next track has gone live. Alrighty, thank you, lovely people. I appreciate you. Jenny says, love the idea of a quick 5-minute doodle before starting a work project, especially creative work. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Jessica says, I usually do mine after work before I dive into mom mode. It is a great way to change the channel, like to change your role as you're stepping from one activity to another. A little doodle is a nice session for your body and brain to catch up with, okay, let's go. So I love that. Thanks for sharing that. Awesome. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend, Dali. Thank you, Joy. Sending love, lots of flowers to all of you. And look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for joining. Take care.